So the question is, the study of fossils is known as. Here we are talking about the study of the fossils. So the study of the fossils is known as paleontology. This is the answer, and this is of two types, like one is a vertebrate and one is invertebrate. So the study of the animals like mammals and all those comes into vertebrates, and plants and all these comes into invertebrate paleontology. The next question is, who has been elected as the president of the Cricket Association of Bengal, that's CAP, in 2015? So if you look into this, like Sunil Gavaskar is not from Bengal, Muhammad Azharuddin is from Hyderabad, Anil Kumble is from Bangalore. So the answer is Saurav Ganguly, because he is only the Bengali out of all of them. The next question is, which company committed to invest $150 million for the Indian startups during the Indian Prime Minister's September 2015 US trip? We know that America is popular for its software professionals and companies. So here we have a list of many software companies like Microsoft, Google, Yahoo, and Qualcomm. So the answer for this is Qualcomm. Qualcomm has promised to invest $150 million for the Indian startups in the visit of the Prime Minister to America in 2015. The next is, what is the name of the second guided missile destroyer which has been commissioned into INA, that's Indian Navy, recently? So here the options are INS Vajram, INS Kochi, INS Kolkata, and INS Mumbai. So if you talk about many, like the first one was INS Kolkata, and the third one is Mumbai. So the answer is INS Kochi. INS Kochi, it was commissioned in this Indian Navy on 30th September 2015. The next question is, which cities hosted the South Asian Games in January 2016? So this, last year it was organized, it was held, and it was held in India. So out of these, all the cities like Bhopal and Jaipur, Mumbai and Kolkata, New Delhi and Pune, the answer is Guwahati and Shillong. So the January 2016 South Asian Games were held in India, and that too in Guwahati and Shillong. And the next one we will have in Kathmandu. The next question is, which country is poised to become the third largest buyer of commercial passenger planes in the world, with only US and China ahead of it? So that means we are talking about the third one, the first being the US and the second being the China. So which will be the largest buyer of commercial passenger planes? Commercial, right? We are not talking about any other fighter planes or something. We are talking about the commercial planes. And the options given are France, India, Germany, and none of the above ones. So answer here is India. India is believed to have around over 1,000 aircrafts by the coming few years. Question is, which city is being developed as a new capital of the current state of Andhra Pradesh? We know that the capital of Andhra Pradesh is Hyderabad as of now, but after the division of Andhra Pradesh into Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh has got a new capital and they are developing it. It's not officially working so far, but they are developing it. And now if we look into this, Hyderabad is current, so we are not talking about this one. Visakhapatnam is a port city, so it cannot be the capital here. The answer is Amravati. They are developing Amravati as the new capital for Andhra Pradesh. So they have left over their stake over Hyderabad. So Hyderabad will be the capital of Telangana in the near future. Next question is, Garampani Sanctuary is located at. We are looking for Garampani Sanctuary. It is located at Junagadh, Gujarat, Dipu, Assam, Kohima, Nagaland, or Gangtok in Sikkim? So the answer here is it is in the Dipu area, which comes under the Golaghat district of Assam. So it is Garam Pani Sanctuary is located in Dipu in Assam. Next question is Ashoka's Dhamma, or the law of piety. We know that Ashoka is very popular for his Dhamma. After the Kalinga war, he turned himself from a cruel ruler to a very soft-hearted ruler. So we are talking about Ashoka's Dhamma. What does it has? It had the essence of all religions, or the option is the other one, was a revolt against the insufficiency of the Buddhist Sanghas. Third option is was a new religion which he founded after the Kalinga war. And the last is he laid emphasis on founding a strict set of rituals. The answer is A. Ashoka's Dhamma had the essence of all religions. He never went against the Buddhist Sangha, or he did not found a new religion. But the thing is, in the present Hindu religion, he inculcated some policies or some good things from the Buddhist Sanghas also. So it had the essence of all the religions, the combination of all the religions, good points of all the religions in Ashoka's Dhamma. The next question is, which two countries have voted against a February 2017 UN resolution to impose sanctions against Syria over its alleged use of chemical weapons? So here we are talking about which two countries were against the UN resolution. UN passed a resolution in February 2017 to impose sanctions against Syria against its use of chemical weapons. But out of these, two countries went against it. So which were the two countries? So the two countries were Russia and China. We know that in UNO we have 5 permanent members which can go against the resolution, and thus the resolution could not be passed because of that. So, and those 5 countries are US, Russia, England, France and China. So if you see here, these are the only options mentioned here. So the answer is Russia and China. They went against this UN resolution. Next question says, which country has recently unveiled a project dubbed Mars 2117, under which it aims to establish the first inhabitable human settlements on the planet Mars by the year 2117 or 2117. So here we are talking about which country has already made a plan that they want to have a settlement and on the Mars by 2117. So the option here is UAE, that's United Arab Emirates. They have already made a plan to do that. Next question says, Daniel Ortega has been sworn in for the 3rd consecutive term as the president of which Central American country? The Central American countries, like we know that America is in North America and Latin America, and in Latin America we have these Central American countries which comes in the center. So Daniel Ortega, who has been elected, or he has been sworn for the 3rd consecutive terms, means continuously he has been elected as a president for the 3rd term, in which Central American country? And the option is Nicaragua. Right, so he has been appointed as elected as the president again for the 3rd time in Nicaragua. The next question is, which among the following airports, right, we are talking about the airports that claimed it has become the first aerodrome in the world to adopt the unique performance and benchmarking digital platform, that's ARC, which helps in tracking and monitoring the building performance. So here it has adopted the building performance system. So which is the first aerodrome, I mean in the world, we can say, which has adopted this policy? And the answer is A, that's Indira Gandhi International Airport, very commonly known as IGI at Delhi. So this is the first airport to adopt this technology in India. Next question is that socialist, secular unity and integrity of the nation. We know that in our constitution it has been written that we are a socialist, secular and a country. So the socialist, secular, unity and integrity of the nation, these terms have to be replaced only by the unity of the nation, and it was added to the preambulum according to which amendment of the Indian Constitution. So we want to say that this term, only the unity of the nation, rather than secular and socialist, they were replaced by which amendment in the Constitution? And the answer is B, that is 42nd Amendment, which was held in 1976. By this constitution, we replace this word only by unity of the nation. The question is, which nation won Davis Cup in 2016? So which country won the Davis Cup in 2016? The options given are Switzerland, Spain, Argentina and England, and the option is Argentina. Argentina won its championship, I mean Davis Cup championship in 2016. So here it says the hotel is 2 blocks east to the drugstore. The market is 1 block west to the hotel, and the drugstore is west to the market. So let's first define. Let's say that this is your east and this is your west. So this is your drugstore and hotel is 2 blocks east to the drugstore. So let's leave this 1 block. This is another block, right? So this is your hotel. So as per the first statement, hotel is 2 blocks east to the drugstore. The market is 1 block west to the hotel. So if we talk about this hotel, your market is 1 block here, right? So you can say that this is your market, right? According to the second statement, the market is 1 block west to the hotel. Third statement says the drugstore is west to the market. So this is a drugstore, it is west. We know that this is west, right? So it is west to the market. If the first 2 statements are true, the third statement is. So if this statement, I mean this and this is true, so what will be the third statement? Is it true or is it false? So if we see here, we know that the third option was the drugstore is west of the market. So here if we see, this is market and this is drugstore. So obviously it is on the west. So the option is true. The next question is, Vincent has a paper route, right? So Vincent, he distributes a newspaper. So he has a paper route. Each morning he delivers 37 newspapers to the customers in his neighborhood. So in his neighborhood, he is delivering 37 newspapers, and it takes Vincent around 50 minutes to deliver all the newspapers, right? So in 15 minutes, he delivered 37 newspapers in his neighborhood. If Vincent is sick or has the other plans, so he is not well or he has other plans, his friend Thomas, who lives in the same street, will sometimes deliver the newspaper for him. So if he is unwell or if Vincent has some other plans, Thomas does that for him. So from the above data, which of the following statement must be true? So here they have given 4 statements, so we need to check on which is correct. So Vincent and Thomas live in the same neighborhood. It takes Thomas more than 50 minutes to deliver the newspaper. It is dark outside when Vincent begins his deliveries. And the last is Thomas would like to have his own paper route. So here in this paragraph it is written, the statement, different statements suggest that they live in the neighborhood, same neighborhood, because it's clearly mentioned that they live in the same street, means they are neighbors. So they live in they have the same neighborhood. Question is, which word does not belong with the others? So here we have some list of words. So we are going to check which one is a mismatch out here. The first is cornea, second is retina, vision and pupil. So if we look into that, cornea is a part of an eye, retina is also a part of an eye, and pupil is also a part of an eye, except vision. This is not a part of an eye. So the option is C, which is a mismatch out here. Next question is, choose the most appropriate words from the options given below to complete the following statement. So there are some statements given here and some blanks here, so we have to fulfill out here. Female sparrows and immatures are, here we have to find out, while the typically adult male sparrow is dash by its marking a black bib, a gray cap and the white lines trailing down from the mouth. Here they have given some kind of description about the sparrows, female and immature, and the adult sparrows. So if you here they have told that the male sparrows, they have some kind of markings, a black bib or a gray cap, and some kind of lines that travel trail down from their mouths. But the female sparrows and immatures are, so let's look into the options, somewhat nondescript, okay, differ to spot, better camouflaged, considered to be endangered, characterized. Out of these, the option will be A, that is the female sparrows and the immatures are somewhat nondescript. They don't have different descriptions about them. While the typically adult male sparrow is easily recognized. You can easily recognize them because by their markings, I mean they have given the description how you can recognize them by their markings, a black bib or a gray cap or white lines that trail down their mouth. So the option is A for this. So the next question says, find the best correction for the underlined sentences from the 4 options given below. Here we have underlined some statements and they have 4 options we have here. So let's find out which will be the best correction for that. So let's start with the paragraph from here. Under a provision of the Constitution that, now the underlined one, was never applied. We are talking about some kind of provision which was never applied. Congress has been required to call a convention for considering possible amendments to the documents when formally asked to do it by the legislature of the 2/3 of the states. So here we are talking about some kind of provisions in the Constitution which were not implemented. So let's see what can be the possible options out here which replace these correctly. The first is was never applied. Congress has been required to call a convention for considering possible amendments to the document when formally asked to do it. This is the first one. The next is was never applied. There has been a requirement that Congress call a convention for consideration of possible amendments of the documents when asked to do it formally. The others is it has never been applied, whereby Congress is required to call a convention to consider possible amendments to the document when formally asked to do so. The last says it has never been applied. Congress is required to call a convention to consider possible amendments to the documents when formally asked to do so. So that option is D, that it has never been applied so far. The next question says, there is a statement and there are some arguments. So we have to choose which is the correct one or which is the stronger one. Statement says, should all the drug patented and manufactured in the Western countries by be first tried out on sample basis before giving licenses for sale to the general public in India. Here we are only talking about the drugs which have been patented or manufactured in the Western countries, because in the last few years we have seen that some medicines which were banned there or not allowed or dangerous, found dangerous, were thrown in the Indian markets or for the general public in India. So this was a statement, and the argument says, yes, many such drugs require different doses and durations for Indian population, and hence it is necessary. Because the climate, the weather, the physical structures, everything is different from east to west. So they say that yes, many such drugs require different doses and duration for the Indian population, and hence it is necessary. The first one. The second argument says no, this is just not feasible and hence cannot be implemented. So these are the two arguments that were given, one in favor and the second against the statement. So let's choose, like, only argument 1 is strong, only argument 2 is strong, either 1 or 2 is strong, neither 1 nor 2 is strong. So either means it can be any of them, and neither means none of them. But if you look into that, as we said, that the Indian population or the characteristics or their climate or everything is different. So the argument 1 is more stronger than the second argument. Choose the appropriate answer to complete the following sentence. This is a sentence, and we are going to fill in this with the words given below. To those of us who had always thought him timid, there are many, it is talking about those people who have thought him to be timid. Timid means who is afraid, or who doesn't have the zeal to do something, bravely. His dash came as a surprise. Inability, inevitability, intrepidity, or interness. Option is C. His intrepidity came as a surprise for the people. Now, the next question says, arrange these sentences at A, B, C, D between the sentences 1 and 6 to form a logical sequence of the 6 sentences. Here they have given 1 option and 6, and here A, B, C, D are the 4 ones. So we have to find out the sequence. We have to place them in sequence, all of them. The new economic policy comprises the various measures and changes introduced since July 1991. This is the first statement. Let's look first into the last statement, and then we'll read the between 4 statements. This is to be activated by removing the barriers and restrictions on the entry and the growth of the firms. This is the last statement. So we have to find out, would arrange them in order. So let's read them. Option A says, there is a common thread running through all these measures. B says, the objective is simple, to improve the efficiency of the system. C says, the regulatory mechanism involving multitude of control has fragmented the capacity and reduced the completion even in the private sectors. And option D says, the thrust of the new policy is towards creating a more competitive environment as a means of improving the productivity and efficiency of the economy. So if you talk about this, the correct option is option B. So all these statements which have been placed here are actually in order. We don't have to arrange them or separate them. The next question says, correct the underlined part of the sentence by choosing the correct option. So here something is underlined, we need to correct it up. Bombast is when high sounding word for effect, not suitability are used. We know that when we speak, sometimes we use low volume words, sometimes we use high volume words. So it is mainly, it is written here, bombast is when high sounding words for effect, not suitability are used. So the options are is when high sounding words for effect, not suitability are used. Right. The option second is the use of high sounding words for effect rather than for suitability. Third is when high sounding words are used for effect, not suitability. And the third one, last one is the using of the high sounding words for the effect only. So the correct option here is option B. So bombast is the use of high sounding word for effect rather than for suitability. So sometimes we don't find it suitable, but we still use it to have an impact on the other person. Next question says, pick the words from the 4 option which is most nearly opposite. So we are talking about the antonym or the opposite here in the meaning to the bold word. The bold word we have out here is recalcitrant, and the other words given here are feckless, yielding, somber, and polished. So the option here is yielding, right? The last question out here says, the question below consists of a pair of related words followed by 4 pairs of words. Select the pair that best expresses the relation in the original pair. So we are talking about the relation out here. So the options are, the first we'll read the bold words, that's quisling and betray. So these are the options. So the correct option here is juggernaut, that's crush, that basically we crush it up. So this is the correct option for this question.